question out of President Obama. In only the third Oval Office address of his presidency, he called the massacre a terrorist attack for the first time, vowed to win the war against ISIS, and warned against turning that conflict into a war against Muslims here at home and around the world. ABC's John Carlos at the White House with more on the president's strategy. Good morning, John.
Good morning, George. The president said the terrorist threat has, quote, evolved into a new phase, and for the first time, he called the San Bernardino massacre a terrorist act that was likely inspired by ISIS.
We have no evidence that the killers were directed by a terrorist organization overseas or that they were part of a broader conspiracy here at home. But it is clear that the two of them had gone down the dark path of radicalization. So this was an act of terrorism designed to kill innocent people.
Addressing the nation from the Oval Office, the president defended his administration's efforts to protect the U.S. homeland and his strategy to combat ISIS abroad.
Here's what I want you to know. The threat from terrorism is real, but we will overcome it. We will destroy ISIL and any other organization that tries to harm us.
The president called for a review of the visa program that one of the San Bernardino attackers used to come to the U.S., and he once again called for tighter gun laws.
Our intelligence and law enforcement agencies, no matter how effective they are, cannot identify every would-be mass shooter, whether that individual is motivated by ISIL or some other hateful ideology. What we can do and must do is make it harder for them to kill.
The president also answered his critics who called for a war against radical Islam. He instead labeled ISIS a cult of death that does not represent Muslims.
We cannot turn against one another by letting this fight be defined as a war between America and Islam. That does not mean denying the fact that an extremist ideology has spread within some Muslim communities. There's a real problem that Muslims must confront without excuse.
But the president urged Americans not to demonize Muslims in the United States, saying they are our friends, our neighbors, and our co-workers. As for the president's Republican critics, Robin, they said the president offered no new strategy on how to defeat ISIS.
We're going to talk about that, John. Thank you.